They say that in this country, people rarely smile. That in this country, you shouldn't freely express what you think. That in this country, the government is powerful. Maybe too much. This country is Russia, and for the last 6 years, it's meant so much to me.
So, as you likely already know, the history of Russia is tangled, even with its own citizens. The victories, the atrocities, the people, and the suppressed. They all represent what the biggest country of the world is. Complicated. Yet to me, since stepping foot in Russia for the first time over 6 years ago when I was barely 21, it signified a pivot in my life. A change of perspective on everything. And I'm about to tell you the story. The story of how Russia changed my life.
I grew up in Peru, but perhaps my mind was always elsewhere. The movies, music, and all the content I consumed were from the West, specifically the USA. In many ways, I felt like the West was my home. And over my childhood and teenage years, I traveled there constantly. American and European values of freedom, equity, and democracy spoke deeply to me. They were, in my mind, what we should all aspire to represent.
At 21 years old, I decided to make an unconventional trip. The trip to Russia. Encouraged by my love of the sport of paintball and my mom, who strongly persuaded me to do it.
You see, I had met my sports idol while in a competition in the US, a great athlete and now friend named Alexander Bernikov.
What is it? It's some grenade?
This is grenades gun. It's gonna be explosive.
Oh, this is grenade in the mouth.
Yes.
Oh,
I had asked Alexander to train with him, and that turned into going to Russia for 3 months so that he may coach me personally.
So in a winter night in December 2019, I arrived on Sheremetyevo Airport on the outskirts of Moscow for the first time.
Wearing only a light leather jacket and Adidas shoes, I stepped out of the airport doors into the street, greeted by the infamous Russian winter.
My feet began to shiver and sweat as I made my way to a yellow taxi who was to take me to Alexander's home. In that moment, I knew I was in for a ride. What followed during the next 3 months would change my life forever. In many ways, the stereotypes about Russia were true, but they were also incomplete.
Russian people rarely smile, but they are also the best friends you can have when they do. Russians don't say whatever comes to their minds because they value tradition and the importance of history. Russia is not a democracy. Well, that's when things get complicated or even dangerous.
But let's take a step forward and look at how my time visiting Russia for the last 5 years has changed my perspective. I think if you visualize a scale, Russia is definitely located on an extreme. But how do you know where you located on that scale without exploring the extremes? Russia is in the traditional, perhaps overly traditional in its laws and culture. But only by living within that mentality, I was able to locate my own thoughts within that scale. The Western values I cherished, like freedom of expression, for example, were not in the middle of that scale as I thought. Only by stepping back, I was able to see how the woke culture has distorted this freedom, many times resulting in the cancellation and punishment of the voices who oppose their ideology. So, you see, you know what one extreme will get you with Russia, And then you see what we have become at the West, just the other tail end of the same oppressive road. And when the Russian government is locked into one point of view in a lot of matters, what happens when your own government is confused? Then you get Andrew Tate, you get Trump, and you get division within Western society. And we've seen how it has grown over the past decade, pushing people to rally behind new laws or rules that aren't widely understood or accepted is a great recipe for disaster. Ultimately, Russia has made me way more cautious with the perspectives I adopt on a daily basis. I think we don't realize the grip that ideas and ideologies have on us until we can see them from the other end of the stick. Put it simply, we just don't know what we don't know.
Okay guys, so I just wanted to wrap up some of my thoughts as we finish this video. It's been a really special video for me. It was a long time in the making, and it's been over a month since I recorded that video. Obviously, I'm not in Russia anymore, but for me, it's really important for you to take away some of the things that I really wanted to transmit on that video. So I just want to make them extremely clear for you now. Obviously, the first thing is I'm not supporting Russia, or at least the Russian government, in any way throughout that video. If you get that idea, it's not what it's supposed to be at all. I have to be extremely careful and delicate with the words that I use in that video, because as someone who loves Russia, the country, the people, the culture, I can't go just speaking out my mind, because someday I may want to go back and they may check all of my social media and stuff like that, especially as things are today in 2024. It's a really touchy subject. However, what I wanted you to take out from that video was what I felt when I got to Russia as a Western man, mostly as a Western thinker. And I think that big contrast that Russia offered me, and that it could potentially offer you too, is a very special thing. The thing about Russia is that it's like a bubble. Throughout the years, it hasn't really had that much Western influence in its culture and in its people. So it's become this bubble where you can go experience what all traditional culture was like. And I feel like that is of great value for anybody. It doesn't really have to be Russia alone, right? Like, I imagine that if you go to China or if you go to some places in Southeast Asia, you can find some of that same big contrast. But the value of contrasting your own perspective and your own beliefs against something that it's totally the opposite, that's what I wanted you to feel with that video. What I felt when I went to Russia for the first time, and what I kept experiencing as the years went by and as I grew as a person. As I briefly said at the end of that video, we really don't know what we don't know. We don't understand the grip that ideologies have on us, the ideologies that we have grown up believing, the perspectives that we took, not because we chose to, but because we were taught. And then in the end, when you see these completely different worlds, you get surprised. And I think that's what I want you to experience if you haven't already. With that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed the video, at least some parts of it. Leave your comments if you have any feedback. As always, I'm Fernando. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Leave a like. I would also appreciate that. And I will see you guys soon with another video. I have great ideas in mind, and I just finished like my month vacation from YouTube. So we're back, and we're going to come back with all the strength that we need. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I love making these videos, and I love for you to watch them and leave me your feedback. I'm Fernando, and as always, I'll see you soon.